NCAA basketball picks for the Final Four. I am tapping out for totals, as this last week has been a horrible run. Absolutely nothing went my way. Our last NCAA total, we're going to end up on a loser. We had Coastal Carolina, Wyoming on the over, and Coastal Carolina decided the last 10 minutes of the first half to score 4 points. That's not going to really help get us to an over, but although this last week's been bad, about the last 8 days have been really rough, we could still take some solace in the fact overall for the season. So be sure to tune in next year. It was a good year. It was a profitable year. It's surprisingly enough, even though the last week was bad. 173 and 150. That puts us at 53.5%, exactly where you need to be profitable. So just got to take it as it is. I'm a little disappointed this last week. Usually I end up, when we get to the March Madness and the tournaments, I usually end up on a really high note, but this has been a weird year. NBA as well. NBA was a rough day also, and we have our NBA Live segment that we do at 5 o'clock Eastern. You got to tune into that. I got one pick for the Final Four that I'm going to talk to you guys about in just 1 second, but also I got to remind you guys we got our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, sbrpicks.com. I always got to mention that. Sportsbook Review, our main web page. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know, the bashing is probably warranted considering how bad I've been. Maybe even fading me and making some money, and I'm okay with that. But I'm disappointed to end up for the totals as poorly as we did. Still, 173, 150. Can't complain. The picks are free too, so just got to take it as it is. I don't take it lightly, that's for sure. All right, so be sure to tune into this segment next season where we do NCAA totals, and let's go ahead. That might be live as well. We'll see how that goes. Starting, before I get into my pick, I got to mention one more thing really quick. Starting tomorrow, the next day, starting in 2 days, at 5 o'clock Eastern, we're going to have our NBA Totals live segment. We're doing that every day now at 5 o'clock Eastern. That's our live show. It's a blast. You guys got to come in. We talk about plays. It's been really rough, though. We're sitting at 195 and no, that's wrong because I had an overtime loser today, and it looks like I'm going to have 2 other losers. So it's not 195 and 171. I'll correct that record tomorrow for NBA Totals. However, we did win our spread pick with hitting San Antonio. All right, I digress. Sorry. What I want to mention is we are going to incorporate that segment into an NBA Live and a Major League Baseball segment as well. We're just going to talk about sports. It's going to be about 20 to 30 minutes where we're going to talk about totals. That's going to be kind of my realm of talking points. So be sure to tune in. Also, guys comment, and guys have some good information on top of what I could provide. So be sure to check that one out. All right, let's talk about the pick. I got an upset. And you might want to think I want to take South Carolina, and I do. And I probably will take South Carolina on the plus money line because I love Frank Martin. For those of you who've been watching my videos, you know that already. I'm taking Oregon. I'm taking Oregon on the plus money line. I like this matchup. I like this Oregon team. Right now, UWager has them at plus 180, and I think that is great value on an Oregon team that could flat out play some defense. First, let's talk about North Carolina. Now, all respect to the Tar Heels. I grew up a Tar Heels fan. I grew up watching Dean Smith. That last game against Kentucky, they played some pretty decent defense, but they really struggled from beyond the arc. They shot just 20% from beyond the arc. And on the season, they have not been a really efficient team shooting from distance. Interior extended, they've been awesome, and man, can they really hit the boards. All right, so that being said, I like Oregon in this matchup. Let me tell you why I like Oregon. Let's look at that last game they played against Kansas. They held the Jayhawks, one of the best offensive teams in college basketball, to 35% from the floor and 20% from distance. Just an excellent job. And the Jayhawks got up and down. They got up 60 attempts. So it wasn't like they didn't get to the tempo they liked or anything of that nature. Oregon has athletes, guys. They get out and they defend you like crazy, and I think they're going to be able to do that against North Carolina. I like how they match up with them. This is a really underrated Oregon team. They are extremely good, and I like for them to go ahead and pull off this upset. I think this is great value, getting almost 2-1 against on an Oregon team that could really win this game. Love North Carolina, but they are beatable. When Oregon played Michigan as well, Michigan came in as one of the hottest teams in college basketball. They held Michigan to 43% overall shooting and 35% from distance. 35% is pretty good, but that 43% really sticks out at me. Again, Michigan got to a pretty decent tempo, but those are solid percentages. And this is just a really solid Oregon defense. Again, they have extremely good athletes. They got some scorers. They can shoot the three. And North Carolina is not a defensive lockdown type of team. They're just not. They got athletes and they're deep and they're big and they can board. But I like Oregon. I like how tough they've been playing, especially the last 2 games, and I think they pull off the upset. So that's going to be my one NCAA pick here for the Final Four officially. I'll talk about more about all the breakdowns on the totals and more about that South Carolina Gonzaga game tomorrow during the live segment we do at 5 o'clock Eastern. So tune into that. Again, we're done for the totals on the year. Bad run there at the end, but winning percentage overall. So just the way it is. Sorry about, finishing on a bad note. I definitely wasn't happy about it, but I like Oregon to pull off the upset in the Final Four. That's our one NCAA pick we're going to have, and then we'll talk about more tomorrow. I wish you guys luck on all your picks.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, don't miss out on the best basketball betting content available on YouTube. Click our logo button on the bottom left to subscribe. And as always, guys, give us a like and drop your comments below because we want to hear from you. Visit our website to take advantage of all our free products.